First of all, I'd like to thank my co-host for the longer cable. This is honestly massive. They didn't know how much this meant to me. I could cry right now. Speaking of things that can make me cry, benches and babies. There's your cold open right there.
Welcome back to week 5, season 2 of the coaches group chat. I'm here with my co-hosts, Matt and Chad.
Hey guys.
I'm gonna start.
Ecstatic to be here.
That was a rousing introduction.
I'm gonna introduce you as my co-host. Next time I have to introduce you.
No.
I'm gonna be like, oh,
No.
this is my co-host Chad.
You probably recognize it from this podcast.
Leslie did it the other day. She said, this is my co-host Ariel, and I looked at her and was like, don't you ever do that again.
We've done like 3 episodes. Why don't you chill?
I looked at Leslie. I was like, are you about to do an ad read during this like 7 and under basketball
it was
game?
so funny. I was like, oh my gosh.
We got a busy week this week.
We do have a busy week.
Can I take us through our docket?
Sure. You don't want me to.
No, we got, I mean, let's all be real. You're not the docket gal. You're the float in the wind. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag
I'm
girl?
a plastic bag.
Yeah, riff a little bit later. Yeah.
Yeah, when it's time to rip.
I'm the cold open girl.
Yeah. Matt's the itemized receipt kind of guy.
Big news week. We got a big news week in the volleyball world.
First of all, I'd like to thank my co-host for the longer cable. This is honestly massive. They didn't know how much this meant to me. I could cry right now. Speaking of things that can make me cry, benches and babies. There's your cold open right there. Basically, benches were a no baby zone. And now benches are for babies. You do have to get a free waiver. Free something. Free.
It's a waiver.
It's free,
Yeah.
though.
It's a free waiver.
It's definitely
You
free.
don't have to
Don't
pay
gotta
for it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what free historically
Yeah.
meant. And now you can have babies wherever you want them. So put them on benches. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Safe sport. There it is. You're welcome.
You
Yeah,
can
it
have
is.
babies wherever you want them.
Phrasing.
Babies for everyone.
So basically, babies were getting kicked off benches, and it was kind of not cool. And now USA Volleyball is trying to be a little bit cooler. So,
But
props
not
to- props to-
AAU.
AAU. No, historically, again, AAU is less cool, but they're thinking about being cooler. So
Bobby's eyes are so big.
we're working on this right now. But hey, it's, points for Spra for going first.
Yes, I agree with that.
Shout out to Spron.
Shout out to Spra. Okay, so the more in-depth version of all of that will be talked about on tomorrow's episode of Redefined.
Anywhere you find your podcasts, just like this podcast, in the same place.
But just on a different click.
Just redefined, not the coaches group chat.
It's like this one,
But Chad hit the majority of the points.
something else.
It's like this one, but something else.
Yep, that was the first news of the week, and then
We're very happy about it.
oh yeah, ecstatic, an awesome switch.
I've been crying reading messages for
Yeah, I got a call.
Days.
I got a call from Spra the day it went live, and I ignored the call. I didn't realize it was his number. I don't know if it changed or if I just didn't have it saved, so I just ignored it. And he texted me and being like, "This is John Spra. Call me." I was like, "Yes, sir." And yeah, he just gave a quick rundown. And gave a huge shout out to is it Steve Bishop?
Yep.
What was the name? Yeah, Steve Bishop, who's his new COO, kind of spearheaded it and made it happen with the insurance companies. So it was very, very cool to see that actually go from some videos being made about it and showcasing the issues, and now it's been switched.
I also got a text from Rafa was at Florida Fest this weekend playing with the Lobos, and he said that he saw a bunch of babies and kids on benches this weekend, and that it was really cool to watch that.
It's an epidemic, guys. The babies on benches, they're everywhere.
Babies for everyone.
They're
Babies for
sprouting,
everybody.
and they are overrunning these tournaments.
What once was a no baby zone is now a baby zone. We love that. The other big volleyball news of the week, John Cook's retirement. And man, oh man, it was a bang, bang, bang of news conferences. John retiring, his replacement being hired, her replacement being hired, and the dominoes just fell.
Incredible work by the PR teams that spearheaded the movement and how it was announced and the jaw-dropping news flashes.
Yeah, I felt like I got whiplash. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was
back to back
it
to
was
back.
some crazy stuff. Even the coaches group chat went off about it, right?
I was delayed.
Oh, you were delayed.
Yeah,
you were playing beach.
beach. Yeah.
Yeah. John Cook retiring. Danny going to Nebraska.
From Louisville.
Dan
Dan Menske from Louisville. Then
getting Louisville, and then I don't know where assistants are at right now. I think that's where the movement's gonna maybe be happening of like who's getting those first, second, third assistants positions. But there was a sign of John retiring though, with Jordan announcing a couple days before that she was not going to be there. And then it was just pretty. I
just want to talk about the timing of it because I just loved the timing of. Obviously, it was orchestrated, right? Yep. Everything went so quickly, but between both Louisville and Nebraska, them being coordinated kind of together, also on terms of when they announced it, they waited till right after the portal closed. Now, obviously, when your coach leaves, all those players automatically get an additional 30 days of like open portal for them. But in terms of timing, it just gives each of those schools and each of those new head coaches a little bit of time to be able to go in and talk to their team, communicate, make sure they're all on the same page, talk about the upcoming stuff that they've got. And most schools have probably already closed their general recruitment of the portal. And so they're playing a little bit more catch up. So they bought themselves some time with that in terms of the actual mechanics of when they announce things. So it just was such a 1-2-3 punch of like really, in my eyes, effective planning. I don't know, Chad. What were your thoughts when you got out of your beach game, saw the group chat blow up, and we're looking at everything?
Yeah, I think especially as I like watched stuff unfold over like the next 24 hours, it was just seamless, right? And I think it couldn't have gone any smoother. Then you have Cook's press conference. Menske had his earlier today. I don't know. I mean, you're talking about someone who was there for 25 years, and then just kind of the timing just hits him, and he talked about all that stuff, and it was pretty emotional. So like it was really cool.
It was a really nice press conference.
Yeah, Cook's been such a high impact individual in his role, like not even like the coaching stuff, but just like what Nebraska volleyball has done for the sport, even in the last couple of years. It's just massive. But yeah, I mean, I think it was what's his name? Troy, the AD for Nebraska, was like, Danny has done such a amazing job at Louisville, and it's amazing that she was a Husker and is coming back. But it was like she was the right person. Like even if she had never been to Nebraska, and like all like just the job that she had done, that was grounds to hire her immediately for this job. And I was like, oh, that's a really nice way to put it. And
it's very true.
And obviously, like Dan Menske will do a great job at Louisville. Obviously, is a former Nebraska guy as well. But then, I thought it was as smooth as could be. I love that he leaves the cabinet, cupboard, whatever, stocked.
Yes.
I think that's a cool thing. I think it's a great opportunity for Louisville.
Like, where are we going with the cabinet here?
Yeah. The cupboard is not bare. I love. It's a good time for Louisville to kind of turn it over, and I think it's a great time for Nebraska to keep it running.
Agreed.
All right, candy break.
Yeah, Bobby, throw some candy on us.
I got Lucky Charms.
These actually look kind of good.
I'll take those.
Yeah.
Can I have my red meat and talk about spring trouts? My steak and potatoes.
Sure.
Great. We had spring trouts, and I was juiced. Bobby was there. Bobby was there for her time slot. It was the day after her birthday, so I appreciate her showing up. She did not come for the full 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., but she did arrive for her time slot.
And you made it to more than I did.
Yeah. We had a great showing, and it just felt like we were...
How many kids?
130 30 tried out, and then we had 90 returning travel team guys. So 270
for what?
kids.
For just 14 and unders,
For
right?
14 and unders, yeah. So it was number one, great showing. The coaching staff that we had there was on point. We had just people who are in their element with tryouts, number one. So you got Matt Frankenstein, who's like a sales recruiting wizard. Same thing. Aaron Dadu and Kyle Chamberlain. They know, they get it. They know it.
Get it.
They know how to play the game. And we just had a great group of people that were there and doing everything they could to make it the best possible experience. And then I felt just so prepped because I don't coach at Stanford, so now I have all this time right now in the spring, and I was just grinding the past 2 weeks on every automation you could possibly think of. For the second we were done with tryouts, all the emails went out, all the links were up for sign up. Immediately once you signed up, you got the information on how to order your uniforms and get them sent to your door. You got text reminders on signing up for all the extra stuff. You got free program credit. All these things were just going out, and I was just watching it on my computer this morning. Just like an orchestra of all these messages being sent, and also club dudes coming in, and I was like, "We're killing it right now. We are just crushing it. We have cracked the code on tryouts." Can I share also just one very cute moment from spring tryouts?
Sure.
Yes, please.
All right. So it was the Resai boys' first tryout. So Daniel and Ann were there. Kellen and Eli were there.
Oh, they both. Aha.
Exactly.
They both.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we knew Eli was coming.
Yep.
But Daniel said that Kellen wasn't going to be allowed to try out yet, and that he needed to. He's still young, right? Like he's freaking 8 years old. So finally they got there at the tryout. I think the day before. Kellen really wanted to do it, really wanted to try, and they gave him the go ahead. So they both came in. They got their Beta Bay shirts on. And I'm watching Daniel's story in the week leading up, and Eli is in like training camp mode. He is working on his footwork on the walk over to school. He's got they're doing arm swing stuff with a tennis ball. They're working on set. They've got the ball out from the front yard. They're working on their setting, and I'm just like, this is incredible. I'm watching one of my best friend's children get ready to come through.
So cute.
Through our program, and. It's like the moment of watching Cam Costi this weekend play. I had the same feeling and thought when I watched him come to the gym the first time at West Valley.
That John's your best friend too. That's so nice.
Love John. Love John. Great friend. Not my best friend. That's fine. But I remember, clear as day, Cameron coming into the gym and having that kind of same feeling of, oh, this is a little kid that's going to be in this club, hopefully for a long time.
Yeah.
And so having the Resai boys there was super cute. And obviously we just love Daniel and Ann, but watching parents go through their first tryout moment, Daniel stayed on the opposite court away.
So awesome.
Probably the move.
And I'm looking at him and he's like, I want to go over there. He's like, I get it. He did a little post about it today. He's like, I get it. Like, I really want to go over there and like try and help him, but I'm staying over here.
Yeah,
I'm
I know it's right.
I'm letting them do their
right.
thing. The direct quote was, I ain't no LeBron James. There aren't going to be no nepotism on selecting my kids. If they suck, they suck. Like, don't pick them. And sure enough, Eli made our 12-2s team, which is our 12-11s combo. Kellen made our training group, so he made the local training group program. Didn't make a travel team, but did make that local program. So super fun to see them all kind of have that family moment. So just a good wholesome spring tryout for Beta Bay.
Everybody knows if you want to go D1, you start 12-2s.
Exactly.
That's
12-2s
is
so
just how it
true.
goes.
is the absolute starting point for sure. But yeah, we had we went to the Stanford versus UCI games.
Both of them.
Both of them. UCI in control. But I think we spent more time during that game watching the BYU versus Hawaii match.
Yeah,
at BYU.
we kind of did.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I think we can all agree that was the match of the week, and my early season pick for match of the year.
The 5-setter was 24, 22, 23, 21.
Yeah, it was
something
crazy.
wild. It was definitely we were in bonus time. That was for sure.
What's up?
Jackson.
What was your Jackson? What was Jackson and Chad over there? What were your thoughts on the BYU Hawaii match?
Do you want me to go first or?
Jackson's he's just on the food.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Jax. I thought Keone hit that tape ace to go up like 17-16.
And then he went for a walk-off.
Yeah, I grabbed Lacey. I was like,
he's got it.
It's happening.
Yep.
And then, Tattoo's the next one. Not close, but
what a bummer.
Super, super worth it. And yeah, of course, it doesn't shake out their way. It was a great showing by BYU. Obviously, they are much improved with him out there. And I thought also just a good early couple of wins by Hawaii, right? Like a little bit younger team on the road. Obviously, Hawaii plays at sea level. BYU not at sea level, and to go into that crowd and get those 2 wins, I thought was
well. This is
was impressive.
This is an
update.
Anything to add?
Aww.
The thing that I did love in that match. Did you watch any of the BYU? Like, did you get to listen to the BYU TV broadcast?
No, I didn't go back.
I've never seen that before. The back dump.
Well, I actually love BYU's announcers.
So do I.
They get some
I think
flack.
They do a great job.
They're
probably
they're
the best.
educated, which
they're
I think
educated.
is the biggest thing.
And people are always like,
Just
they're
kidding.
homers. They're homers. I'm like,
They are not the best. Concordia Kid is absolutely 1000% the best announcer
he's
out
killing
there
it.
right now. He's killing it.
I love that what that guy's posting.
But
It's
if I
good
was
stuff.
watching it for real, which I don't, maybe I'd get sick of it after a while, or just turn it off. But it is so funny.
No, it is. It's very funny.
Yeah.
And he's got like free reign to do it at Concordia as well, which I love. But the BYU announcers are they're pro in my eyes. They get that the flack that they get is that they're homers. And even as like listening to them as someone that is a non-BYU fan per se, I don't get that vibe from them at all. I think they bring really good energy to both sides of the action. But like going back and watching some of it and seeing and hearing just the crowd reactions.
Yeah.
Smith was popping. The field house was popping
for sure.
And that was great to see. I think you've got even being in Maples this week with Stanford, having Heno there, having number 2 UCI there. It was
pretty popping.
one of the most filled Maples Pavilion matches I have seen in a non-playoff setting. All I'm saying, it was a great crowd. It looked like just kind of across the board, I've been seeing some pretty good crowds thus far early on. I'm interested to see like actual numbers. So if anyone wants to actually do that work and see what the attendances have been thus far on average, would love to know. But yeah, whether it's the social media effects of what's going on and just more people out here playing, that there's
I
definitely
wonder
more.
if
more
Long
butts and
Beach
seats.
numbers are up.
Long Beach numbers have been pretty high for
Long
a
Beach
few
numbers
years.
are pretty good in general, but I gotta think that that
the Nikolov boost is there.
I would think so.
Yeah, I would agree. I was looking at I saw the numbers. There's a guy who does the breakdown of AAU registrations each month, and we are already 200 teams over what we were at last year for AAU in terms of teams competing. So there's we're looking at like a 10 to 15% increase in just the number of teams. So you're looking at the same amount in terms of participation. So volleyball as a participation, those numbers are just continuously going up and to the right. So you're going to have more and more fans that are coming into these games. I was watching some CSUN versus George Mason, and Mason had a pretty good crowd in terms of what I saw from them also. So just seeing different areas of the country kind of find their niche. When Long Beach went out to Lewis was sold out. That was packed. So it's been fun to see just the amount of actual in-person engagement there has been. And I don't know, it could be social media, it could be just the general participation in terms of those numbers, but it's definitely an effect that I think we're going to see at the end of the year that will show in the actual numbers of how many people were watching games.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a tandem kind of thing, right? And I know we've had the conversation on here before about the superstar thing. You have all these kids playing, and they get onto their phones, and as they're scrolling through stuff, it's not, hey, this team's playing like a really structured defense and blocking scheme or whatever. It's like, oh my God, did you see what Nikolov did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what Heno did? Like the
The
ball,
last play
the
of
ball
the
he
second set.
Yahtzees
Oh,
to
man.
end the second set.
Set point, second set.
Yeah, it was hitting
Kaboom
lines.
to ball.
Yeah, right. And you have all these kids that are into the sport now, and now it's much more visible than it has been. It's much more easy, I think, to watch high level matches. And that process is simple with YouTube and all the stuff that's getting uploaded there. Like, man, like I think I was on the fence about the superstar thing, and I'm just like, what are we like? Why would you not lean into this?
Yeah.
Like,
And I don't even think men's volleyball has a superstar. I don't think women's volleyball really has one yet either.
No,
Nikolov is terrible.
Men's volleyball has
useless.
the superstar right now. Men's volleyball has a bigger superstar than women's volleyball in my eyes. Nikolov is for sure a
Matt,
superstar over
That
the top
is
of...
a actually crazy statement.
Why?
Nikolov is great. There's no question. Nikolov is great. But the amount of kids and the amount of NIL deals and that Harper Murray is doing and the kid from Texas is doing, like, that's not even close to, Nikolov is not close to that.
What's your measurement, though? Because here's my
superstar. Here's my measurement. Here's my measurement. People outside of volleyball that say, I know nothing about boys volleyball except for I know about that kid from Nebraska, or I know about that girl from wherever.
I would argue that Nikolov is more that person than any collegiate
I agree.
women's player right
I
You're saying
completely.
Harper Murray is going to be more visible of a person?
Honestly.
I think it's because of the sport she plays
Yeah.
and the area of the country that she plays it.
It's
right?
boys volleyball.
It's because
Nobody gives a shit.
it's-
I
Like,
know that's why Nikolov is such a
no, I think he's great.
phenomenon.
I think he's great, but I don't think the people outside of the sport know him.
But it's not apples to apples, right? Like your point is like, hey, Harper's famous because she goes to Nebraska, has
Yes.
some off the court stuff, sure, but like is also super visible and very
Yes.
popular in the state.
100% has a
and-
TikTok following. She has a following.
Yeah, more people watch women's volleyball than men's. Like,
Yeah.
I get that. But I would say based on relative to the size of their respective audiences, right?
Yes.
And you talk to anybody about the men's volleyball season, they're going to say something about Nikolov, and then like 2 or 3 paragraphs later, then Heno like enters the chat, right?
Yeah,
But
because
on the
Nikolov
women's
is
side-
an Olympic player playing against
And that's where
T-ball.
I think you're missing the boat for me is Nikolov on an international scale is so far beyond Harper Murray.
Oh,
The international volleyball community, which we're thinking just
no,
American
Nikolov is
market.
just better.
No, Nikolov is also way more visible on the international market because of him being in the VNL, because of what he does on Volleyball World. That internationally, Poland, Italy, Russia, they know Nikolov. None of them know Harper Murray.
I'm not talking about international fame.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about superstar. on
I'm
an
talking
international
about
level.
the United States.
Then
like-
I would agree with you.
If I became some like big thing in Japan and still was nothing in the United States, it doesn't matter. Like, then what? Go move to Japan. Like, go whatever.
Yeah,
like,
but for a volleyball player,
I'm talking about growing a
Europe is it.
sport in the United States. Travis Kelce goes out to the middle of nowhere and somewhere else, and people don't know. But in the United States, absolute superstar, and it like that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about growing a sport in the United States and making like superstar in the United States to make the sport that much better.
sure, I can agree that in that
Nikolov
setting,
hasn't done anything in the United States yet to make him that level of a superstar.
I would still disagree that he is absolutely the closest thing men's volleyball has.
Listen, I think that Nikolov is the best thing that has happened to men's volleyball in a long time in the having a good player here that is that much better, that is somebody that kids want to take their phones out and watch, and I think it's amazing. But I don't think that men's volleyball has the superstar yet.
On the American soil, on an American frame of reference only.
Honestly, I think it's going to take more. It's going to take some like, is Nikolov getting people to come and watch him that don't normally watch volleyball?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. I had 3 of my friends when he had his post that went viral on ESPN that reposted.
Yeah.
I had 3 people, non-volleyball people, say, is Long Beach State playing at Stanford this year? Because they know me and they know that I'm in volleyball.
Yeah.
And they asked, is Nikolov coming?
That's great. That's amazing. I don't think it's there yet to the extent that I'm talking about.
But I agree. In order to grow it for the United States, we need American stardom and someone that I think he's very Caitlin Clark-esque in the sense that it's like, oh, you are dominating everyone around
a
you.
really tough thing to say on like Caitlin Clark-esque is like you've got to be doing.
She was better than everyone in college, like by far.
Yes,
He's better than everyone in college by far.
But no one watches
but
men's
nobody
volleyball.
watches volleyball.
Yes, I understand. But also,
and it's men's volleyball.
But people would also say no
nobody
one
watches women's basketball. I get that too. I understand that too.
Up until 4 years ago.
I just don't think that it's that level that I'm talking about yet.
No, of course it's not that level. But I'm using the best reference I can in terms of what we have seen in a collegiate setting.
It is the best. There's no question that it's the best reference that we even could. There hasn't been anybody like the kid in the sport yet. So like I'm all a fan of it. I just think that we need more than this, and I would put money on the fact that he doesn't stay.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because exactly that. He's internationally going to be on a much bigger playing field. He's going to be paid way more internationally than he will be here. So yes, 100%. That is where the two arguments overlap perfectly.
I also am not just looking for the Caitlin Clark of volleyball.
It can't be. We need
I'm
more.
looking for the
multiple.
Angel Reese and the Kim Mulkey and the showmanship part of this. And I think
Keone's the closest thing to those for us right now. Would be my eyes.
Sure, like yes, but it's not. That's not even close to what I'm talking about with what basketball did. I don't know if Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark specifically without the other players in women's basketball that did what they were doing.
Yeah. Totally. That's what I mean. Like, no one really watched women's basketball until
all of a sudden everybody's putting on a show, and it's like, yeah.
And then there was an investment specifically by mainstream media and saying, hey, we're gonna prioritize this, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have this generational talent.
But we've also got leadership in our sport saying that they don't want superstars. So like, there's an issue with volleyball right now too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
The last thing we got is our matchup of the week, which of course has Nikolov in it. We've got number 1 Long Beach taking on number 3 UCLA, previously ranked number 1, a national championship rematch, and probably the most we consider the 2 top setters in the country facing off against one another. Chad, what's your key storylines or things that you're looking forward to in this match?
I'd be interested to see how both units end up playing out of system, because these are both strong serving teams. I'm not sure the passing has been excellent from either squad. I think UCLA has struggled off the net, and it's a lot of rowing running around. Long Beach a little bit the same. Some younger passers out there, and I don't know. It's a lot of big guys, trying to slow you down out of system. So I'd be interested. I think in system both these guys are going to be able to score. Yeah. Or like both teams are going to be able to score, no problem. I think it's going to be once you get outside of 10, 12, 15 feet, middles aren't involved, and you're playing slower, who's doing less stupid shit? Like, can you just be clean, make good decisions consistently over and over and over? And I think that team's probably gonna win this one.
Yeah.
So which team is that?
Yeah. What's your prediction?
Where are we playing?
I believe Friday's at Long Beach.
And then do they go up to Pauley after that, or?
I am not positive. So let's just go with Friday. It's at Long Beach. You going with the home team there?
Yeah, I'll put my money on Long Beach, sure.
Okay. Ariel, what's your any different storylines or different takeaways that you're looking for in this matchup?
I've watched Long Beach. I haven't watched UCLA enough yet. I like UCLA as a whole better. But
as a whole roster.
Yeah, whole roster. I like UCLA better. I think I like their pins more. But Nikolov
Rama, Robinson, Ito.
I don't know how people you're playing against Nikolov. I put so much weight on that. So I don't know. I don't know how people respond to different things. So I'm just kind of like,
yeah.
And
I think I go Long Beach.
And Ito didn't go. It was this Ohio State or whatever UCLA played recently.
Yeah, that Big Ten challenge.
They played. I don't know his name. David Decker.
Oh, Docket too. Cool.
This is the name we're looking for on the right.
Is that the lefty?
Maybe. He's that number 19 guy
Okay.
who had 11 kills, 6 errors, and 21 attempts for 238 efficiency. Is that who you were thinking of?
No, I was thinking they're going to move Rama to the right and put Sean Kelly in or do something like that.
Yeah, Sean Kelly made an appearance to like pass a little bit in one of these matches. I thought to steady him out. That might have been the other week. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all blurring together.
I'm not paying
Week
attention.
Week 5. We're just
I'm lost.
We're just out here. We're out here spitballing.
Okay, well,
Right. Well, that's the conclusion of our
do we have a cold open?
Week 5 docket.
In
Yeah,
there?
there's something. in there.
Benches.
Yeah, babies benches is perfect.
Battlestar Galactica.